Evil Dead the game was a title that was announced back in December of 2020, and I'm really excited about this title, and I want to go through it with all of you guys, some of the things that we want out of this title. A title that's coming out, guys, in February 2022 right now. I would really like to talk with all of you and hear your thoughts on everything that we want out of this title. I'm going to give you the top 5 things that I want. I would love to hear what you think in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So for me, guys, coming in at number 1, and this should come as no surprise, I want a full package out of Evil Dead. Now, what's been announced up to this point, guys, is cooperative gameplay as well as PvP combat. So those two things are great, and I'm excited about that, but I would love to see Evil Dead, the game, also have a story to it that maybe ties into the Evil Dead franchise in one way, shape, or form, that being like the movies or something of that nature. And so it's obviously got 2 out of the 3 things that we would love to see out of a, out of a title like this, like a full package. But not having a story, I think, would kind of hurt it in some way, shape, or form. Having co-op and multiplayer is awesome. Don't get me wrong. That's what brings you back to the title over and over again, is co-op play and PvP. But having a story really builds the legacy of this game. It builds the lore, the story moving forward. And so I'm really hoping that they have some form of story in Evil Dead the game as well. And so having a full package is definitely number 1 for me. Coming in at number 2 for me, guys, there's a lot of horror games that are coming out, lots of horror movies. The horror genre as a whole has been growing in a massive way over the last number of years. And for me, guys, I really want to see Evil Dead the game be itself. Just be yourself. Don't try to copy other titles out there like Dead by Daylight or whatever it might be, Dead Space, or all these other titles that have come out in the past that have had some form of success or another. It's fine to have little things that you take from other games, but I want Evil Dead the game to feel like its own title, that it's not just trying to rip off of other games or other, titles in the horror genre and taking things that have worked really well. It's okay, like I said, to take little things, but don't copy and paste a lot of the same similar things that we've already seen a ton of times in previous, games out there in the horror genre. I really want Evil Dead to have a number of, elements to it that make it feel like its own title, that doesn't seem like it's trying to copy everybody else. So that's number 2 for me. At number 3, guys, kind of alluded to it here with number 2, but I'd love to see some free-to-play elements. I would love to see Evil Dead the game take this approach where maybe the story mode, if they have some form of story mode, is free to play for everyone, or the multiplayer is free to play, or co-op is free to play. One of these elements I would love to see as free to play. And the reason for this, guys, is it's going to put so much more exposure on Evil Dead the game, whereas people will at least give it a try if there's a free-to-play element to it, and that may lure people into actually buying and purchasing the full game itself. I'm not really anticipating that Evil Dead the game is going to have free-to-play elements, but it's definitely something I want to see. I'd love to see the multiplayer free-to-play, because that's going to bring people back over and over again. It also justifies microtransactions in a title if it's free-to-play. Think of Fortnite and Warzone and all the other titles that are free to play, or at least have free to play elements to it. It really justifies, they can make money in other ways because the game is free. And so that's what I would love to see out of Evil Dead the game. The whole game doesn't have to be free, but have some elements, even if it's just one, make it free to play so lots of people will at least give it a try. Coming in for me, guys, at number 4, I think it's really important that, Evil Dead as a franchise is pretty big. This is an exciting franchise. Lots of people know of Evil Dead. I think it's really important here that Evil Dead, the game, somehow or another makes connections to the Evil Dead franchise in some capacity or another. And I talked about this a little bit earlier, but I think it's really important. Having it, and this really brings me to the story mode, why I feel so important about this game, to have a story mode, or at least in some form or another, because Evil Dead as a franchise, a lot of us know the Evil Dead franchise, having the game now coming out really needs to make connections to the actual franchise as a whole. Not just maybe the characters and some of the weapons and the zombies and things of that nature, but having the story somehow connect with the movies and the franchise as a whole would be absolutely huge. So that for me is number 4. Coming in at number 5 for me, guys, is updates. Always having updates when it comes to this title, I think, is going to be really important. Really, any title out there, it's really important. But what we see happen a lot with games that come out, even if there's free-to-play elements, even if, you know, the game underlying is really great, we find a lot of times developers are slow to reacting when it comes to if there's bugs or glitches and things of that nature that really hurts the experience. And so I think Evil Dead the game is going to need, and the developers with, you know, Saber Interactive and of course Boss Team Games need to be really on top of it when this title comes out, that if there's any problems throughout the course of time, which there will be, there will always be glitches and bugs and such, but as long as they're on top of it, it's not going to hurt the experience as much just because they'll be on top of it, right? So if there's problems and then of course the community reacts to it, they can be on top of that, especially when we're talking about PvP and we're talking about co-op modes. There's a lot of opportunity for errors that come out when the full game releases. So I just want to see them have consistent updates throughout the course of the process. I think that's something that's very, very important with a title like Evil Dead the game, because obviously there's going to be a lot of anticipation and excitement for this title. There's going to be a lot of comparisons to like Dead by Daylight, Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood and such. So if they're not on top of it, that being Saber Interactive and Boss Team Games, a lot of those people that are playing Evil Dead the game may, you know, if it hurts their experience enough, they might move on to other games. So consistent updates are going to be very, very important in the future for Evil Dead the game. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What are the things that you want to see out of Evil Dead the game? Are you excited about this title? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Evil Dead the game content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.